Hey Presley, here's the video that I said I would send you to help you with that point slope form practice paper that you're working on today. I really think before you can even get into those word problems that you have to go over this information first. And I'll send you a copy of this so you have it to use at home. So when you're doing word problems, there's going to be some key phrases that you're going to have to look for when you're reading. And we often encourage students to maybe underline those words if you see them, so it helps you identify what those numbers actually mean. So the first word that we're going to look at is slope. So remember, slope is your m value in your different forms of the equations. It's the letter m, that's what represents slope. So when you're reading these word problems, you may see words like per, a change, or a rate. So you could see something like per person, or it could be per meal. For each person would also represent the word per. So just, be aware that anytime you see a change in something or a cost per person of something, that represents slope. The next word is the y-intercept. So when you're reading these word problems, remember the y-intercept is your b value in your equations. For the y-intercept, it could be a flat fee, it could be an initial value, or it could be a starting point. And it'll be pretty clear that if it's a flat fee, it could say something cost this amount, or if it's a starting point, it'll usually indicate that. And then lastly, if you don't have either or, any words like per, change rate, or if you can't tell if it's a flat fee, initial value, or starting point, it most likely is probably going to be coordinate points. And these are just really specific situations. So I wrote I just made these up. So this could indicate on day 18, there were 65 worms on the trash can lid. I'm just making these up. And then on day 30, there were 343 worms on the trash can lid. So it's going to be pretty specific to the problem. Okay, so let's go back and look at the practice paper that you have. So on here for number 7, we're going to read it, and then we're just going to figure out what information is given. So 7 says, while on vacation in Washington, D.C., the cab ride from Dulles Airport to the hotel is 15 miles. The total cost of the cab ride was $25.50. The cabbie charges $1.50 per mile for the entire trip. So right off the bat, I have this word per. So hopefully you remember from what we've just gone over that when you see or read the word per, that means slope. So what information do you have in this one? We definitely have the slope. So now we need to figure out what this 15 miles, we need to figure out what the 15 miles and what the cab ride cost of $25.50 are. Are these the y-intercept, or are they coordinate points? So if we look back again at that paper, we said that the y-intercept words that we would see would be flat fee, initial value, or starting point. And we have the cab ride to the airport is 15 miles. That's really not a starting point. It's not a flat fee. And then the total cost of the cab ride was $25.50. Again, not a flat fee because it's the total cost. So this then should lead you to believe that these are probably coordinate points here. Okay? So now we need to decide, what equation do I use? So you have y equals mx plus b. We have y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. Or we have standard form, which is ax plus by equals c. So we know we can't use the first one. I'm going to put an x by it because this letter b is the y-intercept, and we don't have that in the equation. So we're not going to use that one. And we're really not comparing categories of anything, and we don't have a total of any. We have a total cost, but we don't have a total of the two categories. So we're not going to use standard form. We're going to use our point slope form. So the equation then would be, I'm going to write down the coordinate points. So the coordinate points are 15 miles and $25.50. So remember, this is our x and this is our y. So I'm going to plug it into this equation. So y minus 2550 equals, I'm going to run out of room. Let me erase this. Equals our slope, which is 150x minus 15. Forgot to put my little parentheses around there. Okay, so that is the equation that you would write and use for number 7. So y minus 2550 equals 150 times x minus 15. So part C of this is we're asking you to solve what actually is the flat rate of the cab ride. So in order to do that, and let's go back and look at our paper again. In order to do that, we have to understand, what does that mean? If we're looking for flat rate, I'm going to go look in to my words again here, and I'm particularly going to focus on this flat fee word here. So we're trying to solve for our y-intercept. So I'm going to go back. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute this 150 to my parentheses. So y minus 2550 equals 150x and then minus 2250. Okay, so if we're trying to write our equation so it looks like this, that means we need to get the y by itself. So I'm going to add 2550 to both sides. Those cancel and we're left with y equals 150x plus 3. So now that I have my equation, I can go look for my y-intercept, which I know is 3. So the flat rate of the cab ride is $3. All right, that is question 7. So you're going to go on to 8. 8 says Mark is spending money at the average rate of $3 per day. After 14 days, he has $68 left. The amount left depends on the number of days that have passed. So this one is just like number 7 that we just did. So we have our slope, which is the $3 per day, and we have a set of coordinates. So this one, like I said, is just like this one up here. So I'm not going to do this one for you. I want you to try this one on your own and see if you can get the correct answer. And then I'm going to send the answer key to you so you can check those. But let's look at number 9. Write the equation either in point slope form or slope intercept. Actually, no, I'm not going to do these because I think you should be okay on the rest of them. Like I said, I'll send you an answer key. If you get stuck though and you're not really sure, as always, just send me an email and we can Zoom tomorrow a little bit longer, or we could even Zoom later today, possibly during transitions. I don't know how that's going to work, but just send me an email. Okay, thank you.